I'm sure everyone in this room has heard this quote at least one time in their life. Franklin Delano Roosevelt gave this quote during the Great Depression and World War II era, where banks were running out of money and people kept going to the bank to get the money, so it was causing everything to get worse. So what FDR was trying to say was that the only thing to fear is the fear of letting fear take control of you. And he's trying to calm people down. This is the true power of fear and how it can control us. But if it can control us, that means we can control it. Let's say this piece of paper is all the fear we have in the world. Fear doesn't disappear. We simply learn to walk on it. But to walk on it, we have to first understand what fear truly means, how to embrace it, and how to use it as a tool. To understand fear, you have to know what it truly means. When we hear the word fear, it in itself makes us afraid. As we think about our phobias, our irrational fears, whether they're concrete, spiders, snakes, public speaking, or more abstract, fear of failure, fear of disappointment, still fears, harder to understand. Fears can control us. My fear is public speaking. Every time I get on stage, I can feel my heartbeat quicken. It gets faster and faster. I almost get dizzy. I talk faster. Fear has so much power, it can control our bodies. Power of fear. But we also have to learn how to control it. According to Shmuel Lizak, who has a PhD in psychology, he found that the problem with fear is it's becoming too broad, where we don't understand what it truly means, so we can't differentiate between threatening and non-threatening. But if we truly understand it, then we know exactly what can harm us. Because fear can be good, but fear can also be bad. Fear is like a building block. You have fear, that just like a jump scare. It will attack you, but it won't harm you. Then, you also add stress to it. You get anxiety. I have anxiety about grades. I stress about them day in and day out. I can't ever seem to escape the fear. That is my problem with anxiety. I'm working on it, but it can still control me. You add another level to anxiety, you get paranoia. With paranoia, you think everyone is out to get you. Everyone is harming you. You don't know what's understanding. You feel alone. This is how fear can control you. But remember, you can control fear. According to the National Institute of Mental Health, they put fear into 3 categories: mild, moderate, and serious. Mild is most common. It's just there. It doesn't really affect you that much. Moderate, it starts to become bothersome. You don't know what's happening, but it comes in minds. Then you have serious. This is debilitating. You get up there and you don't know what you're doing. You get so scared. If I had a serious problem with public speaking, I would not be here today. I would be back there in a corner hiding. That's how bad serious can become. But we can control fear. To understand fear means we can embrace it. And I'm not saying embrace it to the point where you have to face your fear every single second. But use fear to help you. How I use fear is when I'm in high jump, about to jump, I go and I use my fear as adrenaline. I help use it as energy to push me into my jump. That's how I embrace fear. But there's other ways as well. Because if you don't embrace fear, it will leave you in a bubble, comfort bubble, where you don't know anything. You're so comfortable in that little bubble that you don't want to leave. But you need to embrace fear, push into the uncomfortable, to truly learn new skills, to learn how to be comfortable in the uncomfortable. That is the true power of fear. Then, once we embrace the new skill, we learn new things. Again, in 8th grade, I tried high jump for the first time. I was so scared. I wanted to stay in my comfort bubble. But then I pushed into the fear and I embraced it. And now I'm doing track at college. I never would have guessed that just by embracing fear. Another thing they tell you in sports is to calm down. Slow down your heart rate. However, according to a study done by Harvard Business School, she found that instead of saying, I am calm, you should say, I'm excited. Because if you say, I am calm, you're hiding away from fear. But if you say, I'm excited, you're embracing the fear, you're using it. In the study, she asked people to say, I'm excited, instead of I am calm. By saying this, people actually spoke better during public speaking. So a tip to you is to say, instead of I am calm, I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to do this. Because then you're using fear. And if we can embrace fear, we can use it as a tool. Now, I'm not saying be like the medieval kings and use fear to control people. No, I'm saying use fear as a motivator. Fear has power. Fear pushes you to do stuff. There's been many medical discoveries that come around from fear. Smallpox epidemic killed millions of people. However, because of that fear of death, it motivated us to find a cure, a vaccine. And now, smallpox is gone. Then there's, on our level, anticipating fear. I have a math test tomorrow. I am petrified for that math test. I think I'm going to fail it. However, I'm using that fear to help motivate me to study. So that way I can get a better grade. I'm using that motivation. I'm using it as a tool. This is how fear can help. Fear has power, but fear is motivating power. It can help us in so many ways. Power of fear. When you leave here today, I want you to remember what fear truly means, how to embrace it, and how to use the tool. As FDR was wrong. There's nothing to fear, because fear can be turned into fearless.